Tu Tien's fingers
I saw
tightened
something in
around
the
a folded
sauce.
care card as the market crowd pressed past her.
Which way?
She tried to smile, yet her eyes kept checking corners the way they had
Keep your
for
eyes
20
open, Tu
days.
Tien.
Jack
searching.
stayed close without rushing, reading her body like
More meat on
weather.
him.
I know, I see something.
The card's line read, "Blink twice," and the old mystery returned. Why did she disappear without a word? And who taught her silence was the only shield? If you've helped someone heal
I'm
after
hungry.
fear,
I'm hungry.
what gentle habit worked best? One phrase, one rule,
Right this way.
or one small routine?
I'm hungry.
Please share in the
Say it, Mom.
comments.
Just wait a moment.
Then Tu Tien
2
whispered,
bowls of tofu pudding, please.
"I'm hungry." Jack bought warm tofu pudding and promised, "Tomorrow, doctor. Early? Hello and welcome back." Does a simple outing feel brave after fear has trained the body to flinch? Because fear had trained Tu Tien's body to flinch, the morning began with tea and kitchen light. Yet her shoulders jumped at a chair scrape, as if the room still had teeth. Would she be able to walk through a public crowd without her body sprinting ahead of her? She sat at the table with both hands around her chipped mug, staring at the crack like proof she still belonged here. Anna hovered in the doorway, unsure which questions were safe again. Mom Loy moved quietly, offering help without crowding. Jack didn't ask, "Are you okay?" He slid a folded care card beside the mug, a small square of paper that turned fear into a signal. Tu Tien's fingertips touched it once, and didn't let go of the care card. The same care card rested under Tu Tien's thumb like a handrail she could hold without asking. So she unfolded it and read the ink slowly. "If you feel scared, blink twice and Daddy Jack will know." Jack kept his voice light on purpose. "Today we do one normal thing," he said. "We go to the market right away." Tu Tien's shoulders twitched, and Jack refined the plan instead of pushing. He waited, watching her breathing, until her eyes came back to him. "We go slow, together. If you want to leave, we leave. No explaining." Tu Tien looked at Anna, then nodded once, quietly choosing trust. Jack covered her hand briefly, and the care card went back into her pocket with the promise of no explaining. But the same promise of no explaining had to survive outside the gate, where strangers never ask permission. So Tu Tien walked beside Jack toward the market with the care card pressed flat in her pocket. Because 20 missing days still lived in her muscles, her eyes kept checking corners. The market felt like Tet. Bags brushing shoulders, voices rising, steam drifting into the cold air. It wasn't cruel noise. It was ordinary. And ordinary still felt sharp. Jack positioned himself slightly on her outside and chose the wider path. When someone brushed past too close, Tu Tien's breath caught, and her fingers found the folded card. Her thumb pressed the fold, staying present. Jack slowed and murmured, "Right here." After a long minute, Tu Tien offered a small, brave truth. "I'm hungry." Because that hunger was ordinary, Jack treated it like a gift instead of a symptom. So he guided her to a tofu pudding stall where steam rose in clean waves from a metal pot. An older vendor moved with the calm skill of someone who had fed a neighborhood for decades. "Warm," Tu Tien said quickly. "It's cold. I'm afraid I'll cough." Jack nodded. "Warm, please." He paid without hurry and held the cup while Tu Tien adjusted her grip. The first spoonful made her blink, then exhale, and her shoulders lowered by a fraction. The vendor mentioned waking early to cook, and the rhythm of work steadied Tu Tien's hands. Jack watched her face, ready for 2 blinks, but she only breathed. For 1 quiet minute, the crowd became background to a warm cup. Yet the same warm cup couldn't erase the past. It only made speaking possible. That's why Tu Tien drifted to a seed stall and asked about coriander, voice practical again. When she murmured, "I feel like I've spent so much of your money," Jack stopped so the truth could land. "Some family doesn't count love as debt," he said. "Think belonging." Tu Tien blinked hard, then lowered her voice until only Jack could hear. "When I disappeared, someone offered money for one harmless family clip," she said. "I went silent because I thought silence would keep Anna safe." Jack touched the pocket where the care card rested. "Thank you for telling me," he said. "We do this together." The words steadied her, even as the memory of silence stayed sharp. Because that sharp silence still sat in her throat, the bright phone shop lights hit Tu Tien like sudden cold. But Jack narrowed the choices immediately, turning overwhelm into fewer options. "My durable," he told the clerk. "Stable. Easy to use." Tu Tien admitted she missed her old phone and hated feeling replaced. Jack didn't argue with her feelings. He removed isolation. He chose one model, added a case, paid, and placed the box in her hands like it was a tool, not a luxury. "This isn't waste," he said. "This is safety." Outside, a motorbike backfired, and Tu Tien's breath hitched. Jack leaned close. "Need air?" Tu Tien shook her head. "No." Her fingers found the folded care card automatically, and she tightened her grip instead of running, keeping the care card in her fist. The same clenched fist warmed Tu Tien's palm on the drive home, and the road felt quieter than the market, so Jack kept his voice low until her breathing matched the car's steady motion. Back at the farm, Uncle Dung stopped by with a scarf and a big number calendar. Practical kindness. No questions. Mom Loy poured water and stepped back before Tu Tien could feel crowded. Uncle Dung said, "Today is Uncle Bin's birthday. Just family. We cooked dinner together." Tu Tien's posture tightened, and her fingers smoothed the care card's crease. Jack refined the plan. "We go early," he said. "If you feel tired, we leave. No explaining." Safety holds because one small rule stays boring and consistent. What gentle habit helped someone you love feel steady again? Tu Tien nodded once, and the care card returned to her pocket with the promise still untested. Yet that untested promise sat in Tu Tien's pocket as they stepped into Uncle Bin's warm kitchen. So she stayed near the wall while spring rolls were wrapped and pots were checked, letting ordinary work sounds set the pace. Because surprises can feel like danger, her chest tightened when she saw a cake hidden by the stairs and heard whispers of, "Now." Uncle Bin returned carrying produce and froze when he saw her. "It's good you're back," he said softly. Then candles appeared and voices rose all at once. Off-key, loud, sincere. One laugh sounded too familiar, and Tu Tien's pulse jumped. Tu Tien's vision narrowed. Her fingers found the care card like a rope. Jack's eyes met hers across the table, steady and waiting. Tu Tien couldn't speak, but she could signal. She lifted her eyes, blinked twice, and watched Jack's face change as he moved toward her. Because of that blink, Jack crossed the room without rushing. Yet his hand found the back of Tu Tien's chair like a steady rail, and his eyes held hers until her vision widened again. Because the care card was crushed in her fist, he lowered his voice. "Breathe with me," he said. 1, 2, 3. Tu Tien followed the count, shoulders still high, but no longer climbing toward panic. Jack angled his body between her and the loudest singing and said lightly, "She needs air." He guided her to the side doorway, where night air touched her cheeks. Tu Tien kept the card in her palm and listened until the candles inside stopped feeling like alarms. But the same candles still flickered, and the birthday song finished in a messy, sincere ending. So Jack walked Tu Tien back in small steps, letting her choose when to re-enter the room. Because Uncle Bin was smiling with stunned relief, Tu Tien refused to let fear become his burden. Uncle Dung slid the jacket gift into her hands. "When you're ready," he murmured. Tu Tien placed it on Uncle Bin's lap, and the old man rubbed the fabric like it was proof. "Warm," he said softly. Jack's mouth twitched, and a bright laugh escaped him. Surprised? Honest? Anna leaned close and whispered. The blink worked, and Tu Tien nodded once. Yet that small laugh opened something in Jack that had been locked for 20 days, and that's why it came again, louder, and he didn't hide it. Because Tu Tien was sitting under light without shaking, Jack's happiness spilled out. "She's here," he said. Mom Loy's eyes filled, but she asked no questions. Uncle Bin raised his cup. "To family," he said simply. Bowls passed hand to hand, rice served, soup ladled, and the room warmed by ordinary motion. Tu Tien kept one hand on the care card in her pocket, and the other steady on her spoon. When an aunt reached to pat her shoulder, Tu Tien flinched. The aunt withdrew gently, as if affection now required permission. Because of that permission, dinner stayed practical, the safest kind of conversation. But the same crowd noise still lived in Tu Tien's ears, so she chose the quieter seat near the wall. Jack leaned in and asked one question only. "Too much?" "Not yet," Tu Tien answered, and the truth surprised her. Uncle Dung teased Uncle Bin about getting older, and the old man pretended offense. Someone complained about the cold season, and someone promised extra ginger in the next pot. Tu Tien listened, learning again how normal talk can be a blanket. The care card's crease softened under her thumb, and the missing days stayed quiet, still waiting for a safer hour. Yet the same unanswered loop. Why Tu Tien disappeared without a word, pressed behind her ribs. So when plates were cleared, she stood to wash bowls, choosing action over explanations. Because Mom Loy moved beside her like quiet shelter, Tu Tien could breathe without feeling stared at. Mom Loy handed her a towel and said, "No one needs details tonight." "Thank you," Tu Tien whispered. Jack appeared at the doorway. "Home soon," he said. "Rest first." Anna followed, holding the care card like a badge. Tomorrow, doctor, she reminded. Early, Jack confirmed, before the day gets loud. Tu Tien nodded, and the promise of early became a new kind of protection. Because that word early stayed with her, the drive home felt smoother than the trip out. But the phone box on Tu Tien's lap still felt heavy, like a replacement for silence. Jack turned slightly at a red light. If anything feels wrong, call, he said. Tu Tien hesitated, then made a clean request. Stay close. I will, Jack answered. At home, Jack set the phone up at the kitchen table. Family numbers, emergency contacts, one message pinned. Call me first. Anna placed the care card beside the charger. Two tools, she said. 2 tools, Jack agreed. Tu Tien watched the screen go dark and felt the house around her stay steady, not demanding anything. Yet night still carried shadows, and Tu Tien's body didn't forget them just because the porch light was on. So Jack kept the routine quiet. Water by the bed, scarf within reach, door latch checked once. Because the missing days still pressed on Anna's face, the child finally asked, "Why didn't you tell?" Tu Tien swallowed. Tu Tien thought silence would keep Anna safe, she said. Jack didn't interrupt. His hand rested on the blanket like a promise. Tu Tien added, Tu Tien will explain more after the doctor. Anna nodded, accepting the boundary like a grown-up. Mom Loy stood in the hallway and said, Sleep. Tomorrow is for healing. Outside, the night stayed ordinary, and that ordinariness mattered. Because tomorrow was for healing, dawn arrived with quiet footsteps and warm water, not alarms. But the clinic doorway brought back breathing, where strangers sit close and voices bounce off tile. Jack checked them in fast and chose seats against the wall, turning space into structure. The doctor spoke gently and didn't force the story. He listened to Tu Tien's lungs, asked about sleep, and watched her hands twist together. He wrote a short note. Rest, warm food, no crowds for now, and handed it over like permission. Jack folded the note and slid it into Tu Tien's bag. Not weakness, he said. Guidance. Tu Tien looked at the paper and believed it because it was measured. On the way out, Tu Tien's shoulders dropped a fraction, as if the body accepted a plan. Yet measured guidance still needed truth to finish its work, and the drive home gave enough quiet for it. So Jack took the quieter road and passed the market without stopping. Because the birthday song had not broken her, Tu Tien wanted to keep the win honest. At a red light, she reached for Jack's hand and said, Tu Tien felt happy for Uncle Bin. Jack's smile returned. That's Tu Tien, he said. Still Tu Tien. Then the last loop finally opened wide enough to leave. Tu Tien told the fuller truth. How a man demanded one harmless clip. How she ditched her phone. How she hid so no one could follow her trail. Back to Anna. Jack listened without judgment and answered with a vow. Welcome back, he said. No more alone. That night, the care card rested by the charger. The new phone sat ready, and the porch light stayed on like faith. If healing has ever looked quiet in a home, what daily habit helped it last?